question I often get is, when is the best time of day to have breakfast? And the honest answer is there is none, because the best time to have breakfast is when suits your schedule. Okay, so if you're getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning and it's best for you to have your breakfast at 6:15, do it. Maybe it's better for you to have your breakfast when you get to work, so it might be 8 o'clock in the morning, do it then. Or maybe you work out in the mornings and then you want to make sure that you're eating maybe half an hour, 45 minutes before you work out, just to make sure that it is digested. With a lot of nutrition, the best answer for you as an individual is what suits you and your lifestyle best. Is breakfast really that important? Well, that depends on the person. For some people, they don't need to do breakfast at all, and they might suit a lifestyle that uses something like intermittent fasting, where they have their first meal later in the day at lunchtime. But for some people, breakfast can be a really, really important meal, okay? And the reason for that is we know that breakfast can help to set some people up for a better diet throughout the rest of the day. So some people, if they have a good breakfast, and good can be a little bit ambiguous, but for people who have a good breakfast earlier in the day, it can stop them from wanting to eat more during the day or in the mid-morning or something like that. So for some people, having a really, really good breakfast can be really, really important for helping them to eat healthier throughout the day. Also, for people who like to exercise in the morning and really want to get the most out of their training session, having a good breakfast beforehand can be a really good option too. So it depends on the person. Is there a best breakfast? Well, funnily enough, that answer depends as well. So for example, if somebody is eating a breakfast because they want to go training soon afterwards, then the best thing to do is have a really, really easy to digest breakfast. What's easy to digest? Well, it could be a protein shake, and it could be some really, really easy to digest carbohydrates. It could be fruit, or it could be something like porridge or grains, or even something like Rice Krispies that will digest really, really quickly and help you with your training sessions. But for general health, I often recommend to people to aim for a high fiber, high protein breakfast. That can be many, many different things, but it can be some low-fat dairy products. It might be some eggs with fruit, with whole grains, things like porridge, other types of cereal as well. It could even be an omelette with some vegetables. But remember, it depends on the person and what their goals, but really aiming for protein and plenty of fiber, fruits, vegetables, whole grains is a good idea for a healthy breakfast and a good start to the day. What should you do if you feel queasy immediately after you eat breakfast in the morning? Well, it depends on the person, but for some people, it might be better for you to just skip breakfast altogether and wait a little bit later in the day to have your breakfast or to have lunch. Now, if you know that that doesn't work for you, for example, it might make you feel really, really hungry and it might encourage you to binge later on in the day, don't do that. So what you could do is, instead of eating immediately after you wake up, you could wait a little bit later. So for example, if you normally eat as soon as you wake up, but before work, maybe wait until you get to work and have your breakfast there. That'll give your digestive system a chance to wake up, so to speak. Another thing that you might be able to do is maybe switch up what you're having for breakfast. So for example, if you're normally eating cereal, maybe try something different, like scrambled eggs for breakfast. Maybe that will sit with you a little bit better in the morning. Okay, try different things, try different times, try different quantities of food. That might help you out. Why do some people get really hungry really soon after eating breakfast? Well, that is a really common question that I get, and one of the easiest ways to do it is to look at what somebody's eating. Oftentimes, people will have a bowl of cereal with a little bit of milk for breakfast, and that's it. Now, the problem with that is it tends to be low in two really important things that help us feel full. It's low in fiber, and it's low in protein. So what can you do instead? Well, you can have some protein with your breakfast. Now, you can do that by just having a protein shake with breakfast, or you can have some high protein, low fat dairy products. You could have some eggs, and having some fiber rich foods in your diet. So you can have some whole grains, things like oats, barley, things like muesli, or adding things like even vegetables to scrambled eggs, or you can add fruit to your breakfast as well. What you want to do is you want to add all of these foods that improve satiety. So fiber and protein and food volume that will help you keep feeling fuller for longer.